Good morning and welcome to another great edition here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Again, thank you very much for choosing me. Thank you very much for consistently being here. And I want to say a big thank you to you. If you are new to the channel, this is a football analysis channel where we talk about a lot of football breakdown. We do a lot of the analysis. We break down a lot of regular foreign stuff. We talk about every competition that's going on, the African Cup of Nations, the English Premier League, the Champions League, the Italian Serie A, every other thing. My name is Fiifi-Manfred. I'm happy to be here with you and consistently great to be hearing from you. If you're new again, do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Pause the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on notification. In the notification, do choose all. And also, whilst you do all of these things, make sure you comment. We need to hear from you. We want to hear from you. It's an exciting footballing community. Let's just talk, exchange ideas. Let's disagree. Let's agree. If you have anything that you do not like about the channel, kindly do not hesitate to let me know. My name again is Fiifi-Manfred. This is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Let us get into the juice today. So, as always, I start with my take on the African Cup of Nations and how the games have been thus far. Boy, yesterday, if you watched that brilliant mouth-watering game between Senegal, who are the defending champions, and then Ivory Coast, who are the host nation, you understand why they say African football isn't just for a collective group of European players that are pampered and want to come together, then come just to the continent to come and win football games. No. It's about those who want it more. It's about grit. It's about passion. That even when you do a lot of things right, like Senegal have done over the years, even when you are very good as a team, even when you play some good football, sometimes you need more than just that. And the heartbreaking sight of Lamine Camara, who had to be carried off from the stadium by Sheku Kouyaté, tells the story. This is a player that has seen it at the youth side. He beat everybody. Go on to the world stage, the Mets man, play some excellent football in France. Then he comes to the African Cup of Nations proper, looks at having the chance to break onto the scene proper with his team in a midfield of himself, Guy and Pap Matsar. And for them, they were bamboozled. They were run over by a midfield dynamo in Seko Fofana, who really wanted to play on the day. He turned up and then he brought up the miracle of Yami Soko again. It was excellent from an experienced man like Jean-Michel Seri in the middle of the park, conducting play, playing the short passes, pulling string, diagonal balls, 40 yards, 20 yards, 30 yards. It was excellent from Jean-Michel Seri in deep areas. And I think that on the day, the Ivorians wanted it more. They showed grit. They showed the fact that this is a competition that they were dead in the group stages. They had to be resurrected by a Moroccan miracle. They get resurrected. They come back and they were presented with a 1 in a million opportunity to turn things around. And if you listen to someone like Frankie Yannick Kessie after the game, someone who was cool, calm, collected in the lead up to 2 penalties where he slotted it in seamlessly. He spoke about the fact that they were humiliated by Equatorial Guinea in front of their home fans in a stadium that was named after their president, and there was no way they were not going to make amends for it today. And immediately they went down by a goal to 0 by that brilliant goal from Diallo. You saw that the Senegal, the Ivorians came to the party, they pressed, they counter-pressed. And I think that was the difference in the game, the pressing and the counter-pressing, the off-the-ball job that they didn't. For me, there's a lot of talk in footballing tactics about the on-the-ball job that teams have to do. But for me, everything hinges on what you do without the ball, because it is without the ball that you are the most vulnerable. It is without the ball that you are chasing. It is without the ball that there are spaces to be occupied by your opponents and for them to exploit. And if you followed me here consistently, I've told you that for me, football is about it's a war of space. It's a spatial warfare. Whoever is able to dominate spaces wins football games. And yesterday, the Ivorians closed down spaces without the ball, and then they occupied spaces when they had the ball. And that brilliant penalty twice. So the very first time when Nicolas Pepe came on, Jean-Michel Seri found him deep area, diagonal, long one. Pepe, he's an excellent player, technical player. Yes, he hadn't worked that at Arsenal. He didn't control the ball the first time, hit it the first time, and then Edouard Mendy excellently and repelled that. Then the next one was on the ground. Michel Seri again broke the lines. Pepe knew that he just had to get a touch. away from Edouard Mendy. And if Edouard Mendy makes a slight mistake, it's going to be a penalty. He got that all-important touch. And immediately he got that, I knew that with VAR being impeccable in this tournament, he was going to get that penalty that he so deserved. So the Ivorians are being chosen in Africa's top 5 ranked teams: Tunisia, Egypt, Senegal. I think that there is one other nation that has gone on. All of them seem to be gone. 4 of them have gone on, except Morocco. 4 of them who are North African sides. I think it's Algeria, Tunisia, Egypt, and then now Senegal have all gone home, and it's just left it to Morocco, who are going to play against South Africa tonight. So the African Cup of Nations is really a mouth-watering competition. That's when you watch, you get to understand that the game is such a huge one. And yesterday it was ecstatic stuff in the African Cup of Nations. So yeah, if you're not watching, I think that you should start watching to enjoy it from the competition now going. We are just entering the quarterfinals, and there's going to be more. Let us get straight into it. Yesterday I saw Jurgen Klopp's comment. Jurgen Klopp made some very, very interesting comments about a game that Chelsea are going to play against Liverpool tomorrow in the English Premier League. It's a big game, and I've said that yesterday, since Jurgen Klopp 2 days ago announced that he was going to leave Liverpool at the end of the season. A lot of things have happened. One is the fact that the players will understand that it is one last dance for Jurgen Klopp, and then they need to win games for him. Also, the Anfield faithfuls will get to understand that at home at Anfield, it has to be a fortress. They need to push. They need to get results for Jurgen Klopp, because over there he's the man that's going to get he's the man that's going to help them. That has helped them. In fact, in the conversation of Liverpool in recent times, the man is Jurgen Klopp, and that's even the reason why he's part of the Premier League grades when it comes to managers, and he has turned things around for them. They were going to make Anfield a fortress for him to the end of the season. So every home game that Jurgen is going to play at Anfield, it tells you that's going to be a huge game. And mind you, Chelsea are possibly going to be corporate. They are going to be praised to them in 2 games. First one, that's starting tomorrow at Anfield. We'll do the analysis for you. Then later at Wembley, where they play in a Carabao Cup final. But this is exactly what Jurgen Klopp said. He said, if we could ignore 95 to 100 minutes that the manager is leaving at the end of the season and make it as uncomfortable as we can for Chelsea, it will be great. And I think that that's a spot on for Jurgen Klopp. Make it uncomfortable for Chelsea. And I think that tomorrow is going to be a really, really uncomfortable scene for Chelsea at Anfield. The Anfield faithfuls will be vociferous. They'll be in their voices. They'll make it tough for Chelsea. But I've seen a couple of things in terms of teams that have been successful in build-up. So since Jurgen Klopp also decided to go, players like Virgil van Dijk, Virgil van Dijk most especially, who has just about 18 months on his contract, has said that, hey, he doesn't know if he's going to stay if Jurgen leaves, but he wishes to see. And this is exactly what Virgil said. He said, will you be part of Liverpool's new era without Jurgen Klopp? The interview asked him. Virgil said, that's a big question. Well, I don't know, because you only have 18 months left on your contract. The interviewer asked again. He said, that's correct. Good math. Listen, I don't know. The club will have a big job on their hands. That is well known, to replace the manager. And I think that what the Virgil is saying is exactly what Liverpool's future looks like. Liverpool are going to have a very big job on their hands, and you need to replace the manager. You need to replace a manager that has been with some players, some senior players in the team for about 9 years. Now, while you replace the managers, you also have to do a very good job at convincing the current players, especially the senior ones, that this is the right project for them still. And then when they're in there, they are still going to keep on winning. And they don't have to look elsewhere. They don't have to look over their shoulders. They don't have to think of the fact that another manager will come and then their careers are possibly going to be truncated. Hence, they need to stay put at Liverpool and Anfield and then try and rally on with the next manager and then go from there. And if you listen to the kind of names that have been thrown into the media with respect to the replacement for Jurgen Klopp, when you speak about one Liverpool greats like Xavi Alonso, that's doing an excellent job at Bayer Leverkusen, then you have to say that's a style of play fits the kind of Liverpool players. I've seen Xavi Alonso play distinctly different. Distinct from what Jurgen Klopp plays. For Xavi Alonso, it's essentially about more short passes, passing in between each other, being intricate. And then whilst for Jurgen Klopp, it's more about verticality, directness, and bypassing even the middle third and being straightforward, but also having an excellent rest defense in Van Dijk and Ibu Konate for the turnovers and then scoring goals. So there's just slight difference in the principles of both managers. And I think that Liverpool has a very, very big job to do, but it starts with tomorrow in a game against Chelsea in the league. They need to make sure they keep momentum to win that game, and then make sure that they play very well against Chelsea. It's a huge game, and you look at it in the context of where Chelsea have come from, where they have been very good. And I just told you about the stark difference in what Chelsea's way of play, Bayer Leverkusen's way of play, and what Chelsea's way of play is. Now, there's something interesting, right, that I want to tell you about, and it is percentage success in terms of build-up for Chelsea and then Liverpool. Now, Chelsea ranked fourth in terms of successes in build-up. They are only behind, I think, Brighton and Hove Albion, Tottenham Hotspur, and Manchester City when they are building up. Very, very successful. Liverpool are nowhere close to that. Liverpool play more vertical, like I said. And all of these teams that have had success in terms of build-up, percentage build-up in games, Liverpool have struggled to play against them. In fact, they lost against Tottenham Hotspur. They've not won against Man City. They've not won against Brighton and Hove Albion. And that's the little intricate detail in the kind of game that you're going to see at Anfield. When Chelsea played the first game against Liverpool when the season began at Stamford Bridge, it was a game where you realized that Chelsea could dominate something. Now it's even, just a yet to be cooked Chelsea. In recent times, Chelsea have had some good increase in their quality, the way of play, the counter press, the press, and everything. And it sets the tone for this game. And I think that it's just going to be stylistically two different teams who are going to face each other, more vertical. So Chelsea have to be very good in terms of being aggressive and stepping out. And that's the issue that Chelsea lacks with respect to their centre-back. Whilst Liverpool also have to be very good in stopping Chelsea's build-up, because they have been excellent at it in recent times. And you need to be careful. And when you have the fourth highest build-up in a team, it's interesting because they're going to play against a team that's also excellent at counter-pressing. How do you deal with the counter-pressing ability of Liverpool vis-a-vis your build-up exploits? And I think that players like Kani Chukwuemeka are going to be very important for Chelsea. It's a little bit of a shame that still Romeo Lavia is still on the doctor's bed, and then you are not going to see Moise Caicedo at RCM and then Enzo at LCM for Lavia to sit in the hole. But for Kani Chukwuemeka to be the incisor in central areas to cut through people when they press and counter-press, you need it, especially for a game like this when you're playing against one of the most excellent counter-pressing teams in the English Premier League. So I think that this really, really sets the tone. It sets the tone in there. And if you want any proper numbers to back this, like I'm showing you on the screen, that's exactly how it's going to be like. Again, this game has a tendency of going to be very, very feisty. So both teams will press and counter-press. They'll be aggressive. The Anfield atmosphere is also going to add to it. The people at Anfield are going to sing, they're going to be vociferous, they're going to be aggressive. In fact, to an extent, they may even be violent verbally to other people. Now, they know that they want to make Anfield a hostile ground for Liverpool, and they'll do everything within their means to get that job done. Now, this is going to transcend into what the players do. There's going to be a lot of fouls. One of the things I've realized about Chelsea is that in recent times, the number of fouls that they used to concede, barring that Fulham game, Chelsea conceded just one yellow card per game. And that's excellent statistics because, mind you, at the beginning of the season, Chelsea used to complain about the fact that there have been loads of fouls in recent times. Chelsea consistently were getting fouls, they were losing balls, they were having issues and stuff like that, and it was affecting them. On the part of Liverpool, the fact that they have a calm, collected man in Trent Alexander-Arnold returning, and then there is also Andrew Robertson returning, it helps the team, especially when they come inverted for Trent for one, to dictate the pace of the game from central areas. It helps the team so much, and I think that that's also going to be one of the defining factors for this game. It's a huge one, and when you look at it in the context of where Chelsea are coming from and the context of where Liverpool also want to be, you know that it's such a huge game. So these are the numbers that back that may define Chelsea versus Liverpool in the game that's going to go on tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll do a proper breakdown, tactical analysis of the game and where the game may be won or lost. So stick and stay. If you're not subscribed to the channel, pause the video, go back and subscribe to the channel, and then let us get into it. But hey, there's something I need to point out to you. Everybody knows that the Glazers are going to pocket some good money since they have been the 25% sale of the club to Sir Jim Ratcliffe, and I'm hearing that about 100 million to 150 million pounds for the Glazers after the club has been sold to 25% of the club has been sold to Sir Jim Ratcliffe. But say, one of the things that used to be a big deal at Manchester United was the fact that almost everybody in the club was very disciplined, especially for the players. In a class of 92, where there was Gary Neville and the likes, everybody at the club was very, very, very disciplined. I mean, Sir Alex Ferguson held discipline on a very, very high pedestal. But these days, there are a lot of issues of discipline from Jadon Sancho, Cristiano Ronaldo at some point in time. Now there's the issue of Marcus Rashford, who missed the game just to go and party. And that was shambolic. I like the way Manchester United, however, with a new sporting team, have handled it, where they've come out to tell the press that, hey, Rashford has taken responsibility of his failings. It's an internal matter. We've dealt with it, and then the matter is closed. We want to move on from there. And they want to prevent all the noise around the team, like what happened again with Jadon Sancho and other players like Cristiano Ronaldo. They want to take away all the noise. You deal with issues proactively in the press, and then you focus on the football. And I think that's a very, very good step from the new sporting team, Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the Ineos group. They've done a fantastic job with this Rashford team. But of course, the issue of indiscipline still rages on Manchester United, and they need to find a long-lasting solution to deal with this cancer in the team. Else, they are going to be in a lot of trouble. They are going to be in a lot of trouble. I'm seeing and hearing this news from Italy that Antonio Conte is going to be the next international AC Milan manager. Boy, this is going to be something. Antonio Conte has said in interviews before that sooner or rather later he's going to coach AC Milan. He has coached Inter, he has coached Juventus, and then he says that AC is going to come as well. And I think that if Antonio Conte goes into the AC job, it's going to be a job that he can do brilliantly well, especially now that they have that kind of quality in the team. And then there's Stefano Pioli, who is struggling to make the most out of the team. Now it's going to be a battle of the three at the back, where you look at your man, Simone Inzaghi, who's doing a brilliant job with Internazionale Milan, playing good stuff on the front foot with and without the ball, being very aggressive, dictating the pace of games, low block, high press, mid block. They are doing everything, every principle of play that they have to show. They are doing it almost impeccably well. So how do you just oppose all of that when Antonio Conte, who is also the king of the three at the back, of course after Walter Mazzarri, is going to come into an AC Milan job? The rivalry in Milan is going to be something else when Antonio comes. The theatrics, the fact that these are two distinct characteristic people. Antonio is more theatrical, more vocal on the touchline, while Simone Inzaghi is a little bit reserved. Albeit he's not too reserved, but he is reserved actually on the touchline. So there's exciting stuff coming up. Chelsea were possibly looking at signing a striker in January. I kept on telling you that wasn't going to happen. Chelsea are not going to sign a striker in January. They are still going to look for permanent buys in the summer, looking at the likes of Victor Osimhen, looking at the likes of Victor Gyökeres, looking at the likes of Benjamin Sekou. These are all players that are top draw talents that they are going to use them. And I think that possibly they are going to have these players to be in there. But I cannot wait for that game tomorrow at Anfield. And with a growth in Chelsea's play and how Liverpool are also almost impeccable these days in how they play, how they get results, grind and play excellent stuff. I just cannot wait for that game at Anfield. And I'm excited. I'm going to wait to see. Let me know how you think that game between Chelsea and Liverpool are going to go. Tell me about what you think about Manchester United's situation at the club. Again, let me hear from you. Do you think that Liverpool will get back into their normal self right after Jurgen Klopp leaves? Do you think that's going to be a difficult one for them to rebuild the club after Jurgen Klopp? Are they going to go another 30 years? Is it going to be another Sir Alex Ferguson era like what Manchester United are going through? I want to hear from you. But before all of that, if you have not subscribed, pause the video, go back and subscribe to the channel and turn on notification. My name is Fiifi-Manfred. This is Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Thank you for your time. Bye.